Topping today's news, a celebratory occasion turns tragic for a young male visitor. The government expected to sign a heads of agreement for the Grand Lucayan this week. The Free National Movement members pay tribute to the late John Henry Bostwick and a man shot and killed in the Hay Street community on the weekend. This is your JCN Evening News. I'm Jarino Saunders. Thank you so much for joining us. It was supposed to be a celebratory event, but quickly ended in tragedy on Sunday night. Police say the American man who was visiting the Bahamas was at Paradise Island at a hotel there yesterday in a room with other roommates around 10 p.m. when he accidentally fell from an upper-level balcony. He was later found unresponsive on a lower floor. Emergency medical services responded and transported the male to the hospital, but he died while en route to hospital. There are about 400 students in the Bahamas, a part of a graduating class of 2025 from what JCN has learned is Bentley University in the United States. Investigations into this incident continues. A key part of the economic recovery for Grand Bahama is the sale of the Grand Lucayan Resort. The government announcing that this Thursday, a heads of agreement signing for the sale of the Grand Lucayan will take place. Now, the government has said that any agreement signed will be a holistic one that will also encompass the redevelopment of the Grand Bahama International Airport. The sale is regarded as critical to the Grand Bahama economy. It comes as new developments are being signed to boost Grand Bahama's economy, including the recent purchase of the Xanadu property by Royal Caribbean International and a new dry docking facility by the Grand Bahama Shipyard, in addition to a new cruise ship destination at Celebration Key by Carnival. The hurricane season is a couple of weeks away, but today there are severe thunderstorm warnings that are expected to continue until Wednesday night. A severe thunderstorm watch is now in effect for the islands of the northern and northwestern Bahamas, including New Providence. Meanwhile, forecasters are warning that this will be an extremely active 2025 hurricane season. Prime Minister Philip Davis is welcoming the reactivation of two important U.S.-based disaster readiness programs that are meant to increase the region's ability to respond to hurricanes during the season. This year's hurricane season, that runs from June 1st to November 30th, is forecasted to have as many as 7 major hurricanes, which is above the 30-year average of 3 major hurricanes per season. Residents are urged to prepare early. With fires igniting around the country, recently causing challenges to communities, the Free National Movement says it will introduce a $10 million capital investment into 25 new fire trucks and a firefighting airplane as part of an emergency plan should the party win the next general elections. Free National Movement Deputy Leader Shannon Dawn Cartwright says they will develop a fully trained and supported National Volunteer Fire Brigade and will ensure that fire trucks and modern equipment are stationed across all major islands and ensure that we have the right number of appliances at each station. Meantime, the FNM's chairman, Dr. Dwayne Sands, is calling on the government to immediately disclose the status of the National Emergency Medical Services fleet to provide a full audit of ambulances available in the country. He says that right now there are just 2 ambulances available. The government, though, in September of last year, they commissioned 10 new standard shift ambulances to their fleet. It remains to see how many of those are in operation. And finally, in this segment, members of the Free National Movement gathered today at the party's headquarters on Mackey Street to pay tribute to the late John Henry Bostwick, KC, who passed away on Saturday, May 3rd. A number of senior party members were expected to bring remarks, including leader of the party, Michael Pintard, former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram, and the former Prime Minister, Dr. Hubert Minnis. Aklamia Neely was there and files this report.
Following the passing of FNM member and former President of the Senate, John Henry Bostwick, the Free National Movement held a memorial service in his honor at the Free National Movement headquarters, where leaders and members were able to pay their respects. Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard shared that he saw Henry Bostwick in a way that the public could not see, and he grew to love him because he grew to see the towering statesman who shared the best of his ideas.
So as we celebrate one of our former leaders, as we celebrate a grandfather and a father, as we celebrate an amazing member of the legal fraternity who traveled overseas and studied at the best, well, second best, because obviously from government high, he would argue that the best was government high. Yeah. He returned home to dedicate his life to build a country. We are now, today, celebrating his contribution, and unavoidably we have to celebrate the contributions of Dame Janet hand in hand.
Former Prime Minister Hubert Ingraham paid his tributes by saluting him and his family for their selfless service not only to the Free National Movement, but by extension the people of the Bahamas.
He deserves credit for the part he played in making the FNM a cohesive and manageable political entity that has enjoyed 4 non-consecutive terms in office as the government over its 54-year history. He continued his dedication and human service to the party whenever he could.
Former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis said that his relationship with Henry Bostwick grew to a friendship and a mutual respect over the years and was strengthened when he became actively involved in the Free National Movement.
Henry was a legend of his own kind in the legal field and a force to be reckoned with in politics. He was an astute politician and sat in the Senate as well as the House of Assembly. He was the leader of Her Majesty's loyal opposition in Parliament and made great contributions from the floor.
The memorial service served not only as a moment of remembrance, but also a celebration of the legacy that Henry Bostwick left behind. His contributions to the Free National Movement and the Bahamas as a whole left a lasting mark on those who knew him and the country that he served. Reporting for Jcn News, I'm Clemia Neely.
Thank you for that report, Clemia. You're watching JCN TV 14. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back following these commercials.